Fall is the time of year when many of us turn our attention to football. On this edition of Here We Are, we're going to share with you some athletes that came to Chicago to spend a weekend with a Dallas Cowboy named Russell Maryland for the Russell Maryland Foundation. One of those on hand for the Russell Maryland Foundation was Emmitt Smith of the Cowboys.
Okay, now, that last shot you hit over there.
Over where?
When you were over there, the last screen that you were standing at, was that considered a good shot? Now, I'm ignorant.
It depends on what shot you're talking about, because I have hit some good nice, yeah, it was a good shot. It was a good shot.
Because I know nothing about golf, and I was like, we went far, but I don't know if it went high. No, so how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How
That's
you doing?
good, that's good. You know, congratulations on your second Super Bowl win.
Appreciate it.
Second MVP.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, what's next? I mean,
And what's
keep
next?
going.
Hopefully we get a third Super Bowl ring and a third MVP. And, you know, hopefully we get some more things coming in positive for the Cowboys.
Okay, so you play a lot of golf?
I try to. I haven't been able to play much lately. I've been busy, traveling quite a bit and working out on the road. But, you know, every chance I get to play, I try to play.
Even when you're not on the field, you stay really busy. Let's talk about some of the things that you do in the off season.
Well, some of the things I've been doing this year, this off season, been traveling quite a bit to N.F.L. licensing meetings. I've been doing a bunch of charity events, having my own football tournament, playing in different golf tournaments, and shooting commercials and, you know, appearances here and stuff of that nature. I've been quite busy.
Now, you and Russell support each other's clinics, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Russell came to my golf tournament and my football camp and so forth, and I told him I would come to his. And you know, when you got a person like Russell Maryland that's willing to take the time out to do something for you, you can't help but to return the favor to him also. So, I mean, he's a great guy, great person. He got a lot in mind for the kids and so forth, and he come down to help support the kids in my area. Why shouldn't I come up and help support the kids in his?
Now, you went to the White House. How was Bill and Hale?
You know, it was a enlightening experience in so many ways. You know.
So you looking forward to the clinic tomorrow?
Yeah. And also, I got to play in Walter Payton's golf tournament tomorrow also.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
You got a busy weekend?
I got a busy weekend.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later on. Hi. How you doing? We're here today at the Russell Maryland Foundation's second annual football clinic. And we're in Palos Hills in Chicago, well, in Illinois. And to my left is Mr. Tony Talbot. Play with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm so happy you can come here, man.
Thank you.
You just don't know what I've been through trying to get this man to come here. But I'm happy you're here, bro.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. And to my right is Mr. Richmond Webb, plays with Miami Dolphins. And I ain't have as much trouble getting him here, but I'm just as happy that he's here.
Thank you.
So I thank you both for coming out here and stuff like that. Have you been playing golf?
Been putting a little bit, but really hadn't been playing. I'm not too much of a golfer, but came out here for Russell's Foundation and anything to help out, you know. I'll gladly pick up a club and swing it a couple of times.
You know, I think that is great that you all help one another like that. I think that that's great that you all do that. Have you been golfing?
No, I haven't. I'm in the same situation as Richmond. Just came out this morning to give Russ a hand, but fortunately, my group didn't show up, so I didn't have to golf today. So I'm very happy about that.
Oh, you didn't want to golf?
Not really.
I want to congratulate you on your second Super Bowl championship.
Thank you.
You know, how does that feel, man?
Well, I'm happy. A lot of guys in the NFL who've had long years in the NFL don't get a chance to get to the Super Bowl. We've been there twice and won both times, so I really appreciate the fact that I had that opportunity.
He is doing so well.
I hate talking.
You just don't know what I went through to get this stuff in. No, you're doing great. No, you know, one question I want to ask, you know, there's no other profession that I know that grabbed the interest of the youth like professional sports. Have you figured out why that's so?
Well, I think so much attention is devoted to sports today. Basketball, football, baseball, even golf. It's always on television and you're always in the public's eye. So anytime that much attention is devoted to anything, people are going to try to imitate themselves after you, especially if you're good at what you do.
Right. He's right. He's right.
I agree.
I agree.
How do you handle the responsibility of being, whether you like it or not, a role model? How do you handle that?
Well, first of all, the role model thing, I don't think you should want to be like somebody just because they're athletically inclined, they make a lot of money. I think if you're going to pick a role model, hopefully it's somebody that has, values, value to family life, church background, etc. And not only a good person because of athletics, just because they're a good person at heart. And I wouldn't want nobody to say I'm a role model just because I make money or I'm a black athlete, etc. Judge me for being a role model for being the person I am.
So what else do you do? What else? I mean, I know you go to phase, but let's talk about those other things you do.
Really nothing. Just sit around and goof off with the fellas, work out during the summer, travel here and there, and just try to enjoy life the way I can and the best way I know how.
I put the same question to you as far as the responsibility of being a role model.
Well, you're always in the public's image, and like I said, anytime you're seen that much on television, people are going to try to imitate you. But when I go speak at schools and stuff like that, I always try to tell the kids, a lot of times you can't tell what a person is or how they are just by looking at them on TV. So, take someone out the community or neighborhood, say your parents, school teachers, principals, people like that you see more every day on an everyday basis, and they're successful people too. They just don't get devoted as much attention as, professional athletes. So that's what I try to stress to young people.
That was one question I wanted to ask you as far as when you come to football clinic, or tomorrow's football clinic, but when you talk to different youth, what is the one rumor about professional sports do you find yourself talking down? Like they may have this facade about professional athletes that you find yourself talking about.
Well, pretty much I try to tell everybody that, to become a professional athlete, I think a lot of times you gotta have a little luck on your side, because there's only so many places for someone to play, and everybody's not gonna make, to be able to play professional football or professional sport. So I always say, try to get an education, because if that doesn't work out, you always have something to fall back on. I mean, I could go out tomorrow and get hurt and never be able to play again, but if I have an education, then I can go on with my life and I can always do something else.
Thank you so much, Richard. I'm going to give you the last comment, Tony.
Yeah.
Because I may never get you up here again. So, I mean, I know you're looking forward to tomorrow, but when you go to different clinics, what do you talk to kids about?
Well, first of all, athletically, I try to teach them something that I learned, what somebody else has taught me. But for life off the field, the same as Richmond, valuing education, believe in people that are responsible, and that everybody's not going to be an athlete. You may be have a special talent in one particular thing. Push yourself in that one particular thing and make the best out of it. Just don't go around and settle for being an athlete, because most of the time a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, I have some very lively, talkative gentlemen here, okay? So let me get right to the introduction, because I have a feeling they have a lot to say, okay? To my right is Scott Galbraith with the Dallas Cowboys, and I got a feeling if I had mispronounced that I'd been in trouble. Oh, did I say that right, bro?
We'll let that slide. One mistake. But you'll never make it to today's show pronouncing it like Galbraith.
Galbraith.
Oh, right on.
Did I say it right?
She's awesome, yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to let you let
I'm not
in a minute,
gonna
but I got to introduce my other.
Okay.
Okay. And over here to my left is Mr. Jimmy Jones, formerly with the two-time world champion Dallas Cowboys, but he's now with the LA Rams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you for coming.
And his
I said
pockets
that right.
are fat.
Yes, you said it right. You said it perfect.
Right.
Oh, you forgot about
two-time national champion with the University of Miami Hurricane.
Oh.
You got to say, no, you got to say it right. You got to say it right.
You know, I enjoy doing sport interviews because you can be very laid back and relaxed, stuff like that.
That's right,
now,
you got to do that.
See, I have a feeling that you guys are going to ask me some questions, you know, and everything, but I'm going to ask you, first of all, how are you enjoying the outing?
And this is wonderful. I wish this could be a year-round thing. As a matter of fact, I think he should elongate it and make it for like a week or so. Because the camaraderie ship, the camaraderie ship, all of the nice stories we have to tell and swap, and it really has been healing the relationships around.
Hey, don't be talking off camera, bro. We don't be having no interview now.
I understand that, but I thought it sounded like you
talking
said...
to Tony, too. Tony, you won't get on it before. Chill out, bro.
Tony, chill out right now. You know, that's my boy. You know, we trying to handle things right here. By the way, we're trying to get back to that Russell, Maryland thing. Okay, yeah, this is very nice. I'm having a very nice time out here. Driving around on a golf cart. You know, Tony told me I must turn my golf carts over earlier.
Yeah, they got brothers crashing.
No, man.
You can't have brothers driving around with no police. They won't know how to act. They'll be crashing everybody. I thought you knew.
I tried to tell him, I say, man, when you get in a golf cart, just call him, man, just slow down a little bit, Tony. Don't try to drive all the time,
Well, how does he drive on the street?
Oh, he drive nice, you know, but somebody try to give you something, he try to take advantage of it.
Okay, now let's say some nice things about Russell and the Maryland family. Aren't they a beautiful family?
Okay, they are a beautiful family, and very seldom do you meet people as giving. I mean, they are really authentically able to share and make you feel at home. And a lot of people don't have that capability. They're caught up into who they are or what they have, but the Maryland Foundation is family people.
One thing I've noticed, and yeah, with the Maryland family, that's great, but then with a lot of guys that I'm running into today, as far, you know, you and Tony and Richmond, really down-to-earth type people. Yeah. And, you know, it really, it does good to the image of football.
You know why we so down there?
Why?
Take so many. No, you down there too. You know, you on that field, you take so many hits, you just get soft. That's all it is. You can't help but be down there.
All the hardness just ran right out.
It just run out you. You just can't help but be soft afterward. You know, you get banged up. It's just like an orange. You squeeze the orange long enough, it gonna get soft. So we kind of soft now, so we can't be hard.
That is your metaphor for the day, ladies and gentlemen. The old orange metaphor, the old liken to the orange, squeeze soft. Take that home and share that with your family.
Yes.
Talking about football.
Okay.
Do you all have any rituals that you do before a game?
I do.
What do you do?
Call my mama.
Aww.
That's what I got to do. Because then my thing ain't gonna be straight.
Your thing ain't gonna be straight.
My thing ain't gonna be straight.
Get in with mom.
You got to get in. Don't ever get too big to not call your mother.
And she wasn't the type of person like in public just take her. Boy, you what? Did she?
She give you that eye.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice little ritual. My ritual is I always start off stress my socks.
Stretch your socks?
Yes, I always got to stretch my socks.
So if you don't
and put the left one on, then the right one.
Okay, that's the ritual.
Then the right shoe on, then the left shoe on. After I get taped and everything.
And that's how you got to be so successful.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
you got to stretch the sock. Then you have somebody else to hold and you stretch it as long as you can. Then
well, what are your rituals before you come on camera? Well, Do you have any rituals?
I pray.
I
pray that I get talkative guys like you. You make me look good.
For real?
Yes.
Hey,
Mike, what we were saying before we was off camera. What are you looking for in this relationship?
Oh, Hello and welcome back. Sitting to my right is Mr. Chris Zork. He plays with Chicago Bears.
Actually, I'm on your left.
I'm on your right. See, you tried to throw me off again.
I didn't try to throw you off.
Yes, he did.
Go.
See, I'm sitting to your left.
You're right.
But you're to my right.
You're right.
Thank you for coming and talking with us for a few minutes.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. This is your second year coming to the Russell Maryland Foundation weekend. You weren't able to stay last year, but you will this year. You'll be able to stay this year. You're going to be there tomorrow at 5:30, right?
5:30, I was told, correct.
They told you 5:30?
Yeah.
You see, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to do that to you. You don't have to be no 5:30.
I don't.
No.
Well, see, I have to help set up everything, you know.
Oh, then maybe you have to be at 5:30 tomorrow then.
5:30 in the morning.
No, let's talk about the Maryland family. Great family. Very nice.
Absolutely. It's terrific. I think his parents are very, very proud of Russell. He's done nothing but admirable things. But I've kind of fortunate. I've had a chance to know him for the last couple of years and the things he's doing in the community in Dallas, here in Chicago. I mean, it's just terrific.
And I think it's great the way you guys support one another and the things that you all do, things of that nature. Let's talk about this role model situation. Would you prefer people to look at you as a role model or a responsible role? Do you have a problem with that role model stigma?
No, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't think professional athletes or celebrities should be role models. I think your parents should be role models. I think people involved in your community, a lot of people involved in the church community, I think those are your role models. I think when someone looks up to someone who's a professional athlete or a celebrity, and if for some reason something happens, that person's going to be crushed. Well, and also, you really can't touch or talk to those people. You can go to your parents for advice. You can go to community leaders for advice, and I really think those are other role models.
Yeah, they're more accessible. But I will say this to your credit, though. I was telling some other guys that I was up there talking to that, nice bunch of guys. All the guys that you hear that I've interviewed, very nice, approachable, bunch of guys.
Well, I think one of the reasons why you have people like that is because you're talking about Russell, and Russell's that kind of guy. And you can sit and talk to him for an hour, you can hang out with him, do whatever. And I think when you have somebody that special, you have friends that are like Russell. And that's the reason why you can come out here and hang out, talk, laugh, chill out and everything, and no one really has attitude or anything like that.
Yeah, I think Russell, along with his family, very nice, very, generous and very giving type family, and I think that's great. But I have a question. This is more personal. Before you start a game or play a game, do you have any rituals that you do?
Unfortunately, not really. I go out there and play regardless. I don't have to put my left shoe on first or anything like that. So
everybody heard that? Are we on the blowhorn or something? Okay. What do you find yourself when you're talking to you? What myth do you find yourself dispelling among the youth when they're dealing with football or professional sports in general?
I think young kids think that we're almighty and because we're basically entertainers, and when people see you on television, especially little kids, they think that you're like a god. And so when you have a chance to talk to them, it really surprises them when you tell them that you wash your own clothes, or that you have to go to the store and pick up Pine Sol to wash your floor, or you went to the drive-thru at McDonald's, something like that. Because when you have young kids like that, they see you on television, they're like, wow, it's great. And then when you have a chance to talk to them, they're like, oh my God, you shower, you bathe, and it's just something it's actually funny, because as a little kid, you just look at somebody on television, and all of a sudden when you have a chance to meet them,
Well, how do they think you stay clean then? Well, let's get on a personal note. You said that you buy Pine Sol and stuff like that, so that means that you can be domesticated.
Well, absolutely, I have to be.
You hear that, lady?
I'm a 25-year-old bachelor, so. And I don't know how to cook, so everything's microwave.
You didn't hit on it now. You didn't hit the niche now, Chris. He cleans floors, ladies. Hard to find a man to clean. Hard to find a man to clean floor. Take out the garbage.
Absolutely. Who else is going to take it out? Who else is going to take it out?
Take out the garbage, yo. Hard to find a man to take out the garbage. No, actually, it's easier to find a man to take out the garbage than to clean the floor. And wash clothes. Chris, how old you say you was a kid?
25. Who else is going to do it, though? It's going to be a big old pile in my bedroom. Big old pile. Pile like a year of clothes. I got to wash them.
And the mayor's going to be working you to death tomorrow, huh?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you have that type of attitude toward. Like I said, they're a great family and everything. So was there anything else that you wanted to say about the clinic itself?
No, I'd just like to say that without groups like the Russell Maryland Foundation, what's going on in our community right now, it's very sad. You have certain situations. I'm sure you know about the 19 kids on Keystone. Just recently, they found 4 other children. I really think something has to be done, and I think involvement with programs like these, I think things can get accomplished. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for having programs like this.
Well, I thank you very much for coming to the program and sitting down here and talking with us and wash clothes. Thank you, Chris. Welcome back. We are reporting today from the Russell, Maryland Foundation Day. This is the second annual one. And we are here at the Palos Country Club Golf Course in Chicago. And to my left, I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Cohen Brown, who plays with the Patriots. Mr. Brown, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know, we were talking before, and I was just blown away. I mean, you went to Michigan State, majored in English, got your degree, came out, played football, and are going back for MBA?
Yes, that's right. Going back for my MBA starting next spring.
Now, you know, what does that mean to you? Because, I mean, that's a strong motivator for anyone that's aspiring for a career in athletics. But what does it mean for you to go back to school?
Well, I guess it shows that I have discipline, and, you know, it's something that I want to do. I want to go back, get another degree. I want to work a little bit harder in school, and, you know, it's just something that I want to do in my life.
Now, when you talk to youth, like you'll be talking tomorrow to the people at the Russell Day Maryland Clinic, what do you talk to the kids about?
Well, the first thing I tell them is to stay out of trouble because, you know, if the kids in today's age, there's a lot of trouble out there with gangs and drugs. So I try to tell them to stay away from the gangs and the drugs. And once they go to school, try to focus on getting their grades, because once you go to school and get good grades, you can do just about anything you want. But without grades, then you have to listen to what everybody else tells you. You know, you can't go here, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I thought it was easy for me because I had good grades in high school, and, you know, I sort of made my own decisions.
So you stress education when you talk to these kids
exactly.
about that, and the discipline. And the discipline carries over into the sport as well.
It does, because, you know, if you have discipline in one aspect of your life, then, you know, you can apply that to football or dealing with your mom or, you know, dealing with your job or what have you.
Now, how involved is your family in your career?
They're very involved. My mother, she went to just about every college game I had, even out in California. She would fly to games, and, you know, my dad, he's a big supporter, and my sister, you know, she sticks her hand in there also.
That's great. That's great. What do you enjoy most about it?
I think meeting the people, because I get to meet a lot of people, and because you're an athlete, everyone wants to meet you, so it gives me an opportunity to tell people about how fortunate I am, and, you know, they'll sort of listen to me, especially the children. You know, if I tell them, you know, well, go to school, get your grades, you know, make sure you work hard, do everything 100%, and they sort of listen to me, so that's what I like about it, you know, because they'll give you an ear.
Now, we were talking about you wanting to go to school to get your MBA. So it seems to me you're looking at life after football. What is it that you want to do?
Well, make a lot of money. No, I just want to work in business, and, you know, I'm not really sure right now. I'm just going to feel my way through it, but, you know, football's short. I mean, even if you play for 10 years or 5 years or what have you, it's still short, and I'll still be a young man, so I'll have to have something to do, so I want to sort of prepare myself right now, so when I come to that roadblock, I can just jump over it.
Okay. Now, you know, I'm starting a new thing now. I was talking to Chris Zorix, and he was telling me that he was the bachelor, and he has no problem with domestication. So do you wash dishes or wash the floors?
Well, yeah, I do that right now because I don't have anyone at home to do that, but that will be taken care of very soon.
Really?
Very soon.
You about to look up?
In a little while.
Oh.
In a little while.
Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry. Don't look at him no more. And you know, the girls was like, what's his name? No.
Already accounted for.
Well, that's great. That's great. I'm really proud of you.
Thank
I
you.
wish you much continued luck in the future. Have you golfed today?
Yes, I have. Is that what you want to call it? I have golfed.
A reasonable facsimile thereof, huh?
It's been all right. It's been all right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you know, I want to thank you. I told you to be short, and I want to thank you for coming out and talk with me. And I wish you much luck in the future.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, then. Thanks a lot.
Coach Wilbert Ellis, baseball coach at Grambling State University, talks with us about Eddie Robinson, the swag, and what an athlete should look for in their college.
We believe if you come to us for 4 years or stay 5 years, that you will get a degree, providing that you make the total commitment. And what we look at you, not only from an athletic standpoint, we look at the total part of an individual.
And it's sad when you have, but it's sad, but it's true. You have some institutions that they're interested in promoting their sports.
One of the things I think that you need to look at if I'm going to recruit you, is that you need to look at the institutional graduation rate. See whether the graduates coming out in 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, whether it's high or whether you just got a normal process. And what we emphasize that if you stay 4 or 5 years, as I mentioned, then you will get the total concept of what education is all about. And the education, athletics is total commitment of the individual person, as well as the coach, or the coaches.
And about the coaching staff at Grambling. I mean, Grambling is a very well-known institution, you know, for their sports.
Well, you know, Eddie Robinson been there for 53 years. And
Eddie Robinson.
And he came in 1941, and Dr. Jones, who was the president, brought Eddie to Grambling. Eddie's worked under four presidents now. He has been not only a football coach, but he's been a coach for all Americans. And not only have he placed emphasis on the athletic field, but he's a strong academic person.
The night affair presented a fashion show, dinner and dance, and awards to coaches Eddie Robinson and Wilbert Ellis of Grambling State University of Grambling, Louisiana. Dr. Charles Fraser presented the awards to Coach Ellis on behalf of the Chicago Public High Schools Athletic Association, the Chicago Public League Football Association, and the Russell Maryland Foundation. One of the awards was a check to purchase baseball uniforms for the Grambling State University Tigers baseball team.
And in addition, we have a check which we'd like to present to the Grambling State Tigers baseball team for the purchase of new baseball uniforms for the 1994-95 season. Thank you very much, and congratulations and continue to good luck.
Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to be in Chicago, especially with James, Maryland, Russell, and to the Russell family, to the Maryland family rather, and to all the persons who support the Russell Maryland Foundation. I think this is one of the greatest honors that we've received. Coach Robinson sent his deepest regret. He couldn't be here tonight because of other commitments and emergency. And he told me to make sure that I say to Jim and Russell and to the city of Chicago that we want to come back and play football, and not only that, he will also be a part of the Russell Maryland Foundation golf classes and football clinic for the future.
As the players and foundation members prepared for the football clinic, I caught up with some of the fellows to get their views on athletes being role models and how they took that responsibility. I also wanted to know how they were enjoying their participation in the Russell Maryland Foundation weekend. What do you think about the turnout for this clinic? This is your first time coming to this one, the Russell Maryland Clinic?
Well, it's my second. I was here last year. I came here. I attended last year, and it was a great turnout then. It's a great turnout now. You know, every year, what you try to accomplish when you're doing a clinic like this is every year, you know, you get the chance to reach more people, touch more people, get more people out here, and I think that's what Russell's doing a great job of. I think we have a little bit more people than we had last year, and hopefully next year will be even better.
You plan on coming back next year too, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, I got to be here. You know, Russell and I go a long way back. You know, we got quite a bond, and you know, it's great when you have those kind of friends around the league that, you know, Russell can pick up a phone and call and say, hey, guys, I need you here. And he's a very prominent players. You know, when you're talking about the players around the league, these are big-time players, and they all show up like that.
Yeah, let's talk about the camaraderie for a minute. I mean, like you said, you have a lot of players, not just from the Dallas Cowboys, but from Miami, Seattle, that come together. It speaks a lot to the camaraderie that you all have.
Yeah, over the years, you know, one of the great things that God bless us all with is relationships, I think. You know, we're in a good business that we get a chance to go around, we meet a lot of people, and you build special bonds with people, especially, like I said, not just the guys on our team, not guys that you play with, but the guys that you compete against, and that's the great thing. You know, you build that relationship, and I think life sends you funny twists, and you know, a special friend, a true friend is a blessing from God, and you get sometimes to meet a lot of true friends.
Well, amen to that one. What do you tell these kids when you're talking to them?
Well, what you try to do is set in a reality. You know, you let them know, hey, there's very few people that make it in the NFL, and by no means should you think any of these guys that are in the NFL consider quitters, you know. And what I mean by that, you know, they don't quit school, they don't quit anything, because once you start quitting something, and that's the easy way out, that you will keep quitting anything, and you try to make sure they keep emphasis on school, because so many times, especially our people, when I mean our people, I mean our people, black people, we think, hey, you know, we're great athletes, man, I don't need school, I'm a professional football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and you try to make them understand that there's a weeding out process, even to professional ball. You know, you got to go to high school, and then you got to go to college, and then if it's nothing else, it's a weeding out process, and you got to be able to deal with the weeding out process, get your education, and be prepared for what happens after you finish playing ball.
Now, see, those words come out of the mouth of a role model. Do you have a problem with the being considered a role model, or would you prefer to be considered as a responsible adult?
Well, you know, I don't have a problem with being considered a role model, but I think what we do, a lot of us, not only athletes, but anybody and everybody that you want to label a role model, you got to make sure also you can put role model by, but understand that these people are human. Everybody's human. We all make mistakes, and I don't mind people starting to come. When people coming out and saying, hey, you know, I would like to accomplish some of the things that Michael accomplished. I would like to do the things that Michael doing, or do it that way. I want to do it this way. That's nothing wrong with that. There's anything wrong with that, I should say. But you got to understand that I am human. I make mistakes every day. Every single day of my life I make mistakes, you know. Hopefully I can keep them out of you guys' hands. I had the media's hand, and that'd be a great that'd be great for me if I can keep them out of the media's hand. But I do make mistakes, and I am human. And as long as we all understand that just because you're a role model, it does not make you, you know, above being a human, then it's okay being a role model.
So you don't appreciate it when they put you on a pedestal like that anyway?
Well, I don't think anybody should be put on a pedestal but God himself. Okay. And, you know, our God is a jealous God, and I don't want him having a gripe with me about somebody put me on a pedestal.
Right. Well, what do you think about the Russell, Maryland weekend?
I think it's a great weekend. I really do. I think it says a lot for him willing to come back to his community and give back to it. And he does a nice job. I wasn't able to make last year's event. This is my first chance to come, but I've been very impressed with the support that he's been given, and also the job that he's done on behalf of the foundation.
You know, with the involvement of a lot of the Cowboys, it speaks a lot about the camaraderie of the group. Can you talk about that?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we've been as successful as we have been on the field, is because the guys genuinely do care about one another, and it's a close group, and that's one of the things that I hope stays intact with some of the changes that have taken place throughout this offseason. But I know that I have events back in Dallas, and other players have events elsewhere around the country, and we try to get out and support each other as much as what we can, and it's important. What
do you tell kids when you come to clinics like this? What is it that you see yourself telling the youth the most about?
Well, you know, beyond on the football end of it, when I worked at different camps, I just try to get them to realize the opportunities that they're being given. When you got some of the athletes that we have here today and willing to give of their time in order to try to make them better players, then I think it's important that they take advantage of that, because there's a lot of children around the country that never get that chance. And beyond that, as far as just the way they live their lives, I believe that children, they know what's right and wrong. I don't try to lecture them on those issues. And the thing that's important, I believe, is that we live in a country where we can pursue our dreams and try to achieve those things that we wish to accomplish. And so I tell them to go for it. I mean, as a professional athlete, very few children get that opportunity and are able to go on and make it. But I think that if it's a dream of theirs, then they have to pursue it, or no matter what it may be, whether it be a doctor or a lawyer or what have you. I think that children need to go after the things that are important to them, the things that they want to get out of life, and not let the setbacks discourage them.
What do you feel about you being labeled, for lack of a better term, as a role model? Do you have a problem with that term?
I don't have a problem with that term. I think that if people haven't realized it before, I think they're beginning to here over the last couple of weeks anyway with the events that have taken place. And I think it's important for children. I think it's important for parents to instill in their children, that what's right and what's wrong, and for them to realize that everyone is human, and no matter how glamorized someone may be, that every one of us has our faults and things that are I guess are not very reflective of role models. And I think sometimes what I have found in my associations with children is that I think sometimes parents want to take the burden off themselves, and they want to place too much of the importance in the hands of people that they don't even know. And when you do that, I think you set yourself up for a letdown. So I would like to see parents become more involved. They're the ones who are seeing their children day after day, and I think they can be as big a role models as anybody. I know that when I was growing up, there were certain celebrities that I looked up to and professional athletes that I aspired to, but by the same token, there were my parents, and there were family members, and even more than them, probably the coaches that I had while I was growing up that were probably more influential in my life than what anybody or any celebrity was.
Are you still keep close relationships with your former teachers, coaches?
I do, yes. I've been real fortunate. Several of my close friends from high school and also college live in the Dallas area now. I get back home to Henrietta, which is only 3 hours from where I grew up, or Dallas is only 3 hours from where I grew up there in Henrietta, and so I get a chance to stay in contact with the people who were very instrumental in my development.
Chad Hennings, a former pilot in the United States Air Force, was impressed with the community involvement in the weekend.
The thing I'm most impressed with is the amount of community involvement. I mean, the whole community seems to rise to the occasion and really come out and put on a fantastic show for the kids, and it's a great cause.
Now, I'm sure you do clinics like this all the time. What do you talk to the youth about when you're in these clinics?
Talk to them about dreams, goal setting, working hard. There's no easy way out. And first and foremost, get the education. Don't try and just do it for the sports, but get the education first.
Do you consider yourself a role model or just a responsible adult?
I like to consider myself a role model. You know, for the route that I took to get to the N.F.L., going through the Air Force, serving my time as a pilot, and coming in that way, you know, I try and do my best and set a good example, as I'm sure a lot of the guys here do too. You know, I come in the league, I heard a lot about Russell and a lot of the things that he did for the community, and you know what he's doing today, you know, just epitomizes the type of role models there are in the NFL.
You know, I want to congratulate you on that, on your achievements outside of the football arena. So that's telling me that you're looking ahead. So what's in the future after football?
I'll tell you the truth, I haven't looked that far yet. I had two dreams in life. One was to be a football player, and the other one was to be a jet pilot. And I've achieved both those dreams already, so I'm going to have to start dreaming again.
You know, now what do you feel about the camaraderie between the team players? You all are helping Russell. I'm sure that he helps you all out, things of that nature.
You know, it just epitomizes the closeness of the team. We're a very tight team, and I think that also goes to show why we've won 2 Super Bowls the last 2 years, because we have a lot of character on the team and a lot of team loyalty, and you have guys taking out time of their busy schedules to come here and help Russell out, and that's fantastic.
Jim Jeffcoat had nice words about Russell, Maryland, and the involvement of his family in his career. Jim, no, what do you think about the turnout of the events in this clinic? This is your first one, right?
No, this is my second one, and I was here last year, and it's turning out to be a real good event, but you expect that when you're dealing with a person like Russell, Maryland.
Yeah, you know, the Maryland family, they're great, you know, and they're very inclusive type family. And it's great to see, you know, a person that involved in their kid's career. Is your family very involved in your career?
Yes, they are. My mother and father are very involved in my career. They have a lot of concerns. You know, even when I go to camp, I got to go back to New Jersey next week, and they have to check and make sure I'm all right before I leave to go to training camp. And they're always asking me about what's going on.
You know, has sports celebrity status changed your relationship with your family?
I don't really think so, because we're a close-knit family, and we still are. I have 4 brothers and a sister, and we still talk all the time. So I really don't think it's changed anything a lot.
Do you have a problem being labeled as a role model?
No, I don't, because that's a responsibility you have to take. If you achieve a certain status, then you have to take the responsibility that goes on. If you live in a glass house, you can't throw stones. And you realize that you have to be a model of someone. If it's your kids, if it's somebody in the community, you have to be a role model of someone.
So what do you tell these kids when you're at clinics like this? What do you talk to them about?
I tell them about life and how hard life really is. It's not a smooth road, it's a bumpy road, and everybody has adversity. It's how they deal with it. They see people like Russell, myself, and a lot of guys here, and they think that we started off being successful. They don't know the tough roads that we've taken to get to this point.
The CEO of the Russell Maryland Foundation, Mr. Jim Maryland, was very excited about how the events turned out for the weekend. How do you feel about the input or the contribution of the different players from across the league, not just Dallas, but across the league, to this clinic?
Well, first of all, in order to get players to come to a clinic of this magnitude, you first have to have the respect of the players by that particular player that has put it on the clinic. And I think personally, Russell Maryland has that respect among his peers.
Okay. How has your relationship with your son changed, if it has, since he's achieved celebrity status?
I think I've talked about this before. My family is a close-knit family, not just my immediate family, but going back in the time, we've always tried to support one another. And Russell has stepped into a new dimension. He's stepped up to another level. And our relationship certainly remains the same. It's a positive relationship. It's a close-knit relationship. We talk sometimes 2-3 times a week. So we do have that closeness still.
And I see that you're very involved in your son's career, and that's very important in anybody's career aspect, that their family be involved.
Well, certainly a parent having a son that's in the limelight, whether it's in the entertainment field or what have you, you just can't throw your kids out to the wolves. Many times, the financial planners and the negative agents will come and take over your son's entire life, and they'll end up in ruins. And as long as I live and I'm in my right mind, I don't feel that Russell Maryland will have that kind of downfall.
While the National Football League at one time was viewed as a seasonal activity, today it is a full-time job. Even though there is no off-season as such anymore, Russell is very active in his foundation. He participates in most activities. You know, I saw you running out there a few minutes ago, and sports today is no longer seasonal. It's a year-round thing. Can you talk about, as opposed to, you know, years ago when it was a thing of where they didn't have to get into shape until season started. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, you know what they call it? They call it off-season. And I'll tell the truth, you ain't never off, because it's always something. You always got to do some kind of running, some kind of lifting year-round. You know, even after the Super Bowl, when we went to the Super Bowl, 3 weeks afterwards, you know, we got back into the weight room. We got started with our running program. So, you know, it never is really an off season. You got to do everything all year round, because if you stop for a long period of time, then it's going to make it that much harder, and it's going to take that much more time to get back in shape.
So you have no problem with that?
No, I'm used to it. Ever since my days at the University of Miami, it's been a year-round thing. You know, so I'm really used to it.
Okay. You know, how do you feel about the turnout of the events for this clinic for this year?
So far, super. I had a great turnout for the dinner. Had a great turnout for the golf, even though we had a little bit of inclement conditions. It was still a great turnout. Everybody had a great time. So this being our first golf tournament
it was really a super job by my foundation members and a super job by our supporters, and we really appreciate that.
You know, like I was telling you a few minutes ago, that I see you're getting more involved. You're, stepping up some while others are stepping back. This is really helping you honing your business skills, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, my father, he's been through the ranks as far as being a businessman. Mm-hmm. So last year, he wanted to be up there in front. And I said, hey, Dad, man, you have to, pull back. Everything's gonna take care of itself. Let me learn some of this, some of this business. Let me get some of this action. Mm-hmm. So, I just had to take it over a little bit, and I have no problems with it. You do a lot more leg work, and you run around a lot more. You got a lot more people tugging at you and pulling at you, but, that's what it's all about.
Well, hey, you're doing a good job because everything so far has turned out great. Okay, do you like people to view you as a role model or a responsible adult?
Well, you're going to be viewed as a role model anyway. You're on TV all the time, every Sunday. People see you playing on TV. They see you doing interviews. And, they kind of respect you for the things that you do and, being the best at what you do and being so much in the limelight. People are going to look up to you, children and adults alike. But I don't think we should be the primary role models by any means. I think that the parents, the people in the church should be the primary role models. I think that people in the community should be positive people in the community now, don't get me wrong, should be role models. Being a role model is something that, that I didn't really ask for. It was thrust upon me because of the things that I do. But I don't think I should be viewed any differently because I'm a human being. I think you should judge me on the standards of being a good person, a responsible human being. I think with any person, you should just judge them on being that and not anything else. If you want to aspire to be a professional defensive tackle and be better than me, then I should be your role model as far as on the field and my athletic prowess, and that alone. But unless you know me as a responsible human being, then I don't think you should base your standards of someone being a role model on me.
You seem to handle the responsibility of being a sports celebrity well. You also seem to, on the long lines of relationships, to keep good ties with your former coaches, and you have them involved.
Definitely. You got to keep the coaches involved. The guys that work so hard that get very little credit. People in the community that you've grown up with, that you've been known for a long time, people that have followed your success. You got to share a little bit of that success with them. And these are the coaches, the public league coaches that I know. And that's why I have them involved in my foundation, because they're the ones that taught me that, without them, I wouldn't be with the Dallas Cowboys. I wouldn't be playing professional football.
Let's talk about the involvement of your colleagues in the area of sports that are out here to help you. You all are really good on supporting one another.
Definitely. I got a great super. I couldn't ask for anything better from the guys that I have out here. I got guys like Troy Aikman. He showed up. Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Jim Jeffcoat, Chad Hennings. These guys have taken time out of their busy schedules to come to my little part of town, south side of Chicago, and teach the kids and give something back to my community. They didn't have to do it. They could have stayed in Dallas and, chilled out in Dallas. But I'm glad that I got them up here at Gately Stadium to help me work these kids out, because it's a great thing that they're doing. It's a great thing that we're trying to do as a foundation, as the Russell Maryland Foundation.
I wish you the best of luck with your foundation. It's also continued success with the champion Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
There is nothing like the enjoyment of seeing an event come off as planned. Mrs. Rita Maryland, Russell's mother, was happy how the weekend of activities went. She also spoke of Russell being a good student.
Well, I think it's been a great weekend so far. We started out with the golf outing on yesterday at Palos Country Club. It was well attended. The rain didn't dampen our spirits, and we are quite pleased with the way that turned out. And then we capped the evening with a dinner dance and silent auction at the Palos Country Club. And it was well attended, and there was a lot of excitement created by the attendance of all of these professional athletes. And so we are happy about that. And then to see all of these beautiful young people in this stadium this morning, Gately Stadium, right here in the middle of the black community. We've got the Troy Aikmans, we've got the Emmitt Smiths, we've got the Cortez Kennedys, and Russell Maryland, and so many other professional athletes, and it just warms my heart.
You know, you are very involved in your son's athletic career. Could you talk to me about the importance of family being involved in the children making their career decisions and helping them in doing that?
Well, young people need a base. They can have, well, teenagers sometimes have a mind of their own, and they sometimes think nobody can tell me anything. But unless they have that family base, there's so much opportunity for them to make the wrong decisions. And so I think every parent ought to try to provide a background spiritually, emotionally for their children, and this helps them to succeed.
Now, this clinic is more than about athletics. It's about education as well.
Yes, it is. We stress education, and this is one of the things that Russell Maryland talks about whenever he visits a school or has an opportunity to talk with a group of young people. He himself was a very good student in school. He motivated himself. I didn't have to do too much pushing to get him to read or to get him to study or to get him to do his homework. And so he knows the importance of it, and he tries to impart that idea to other children. And we do have a scholarship fund set up within the foundation where we try to help a deserving boy or girl attend college.
Emmitt Smith tells us why he returned to college.
I went back to school just so I can definitely work on finishing up my degree, and I still have 15 hours to go, and I haven't been able to get back there for the past 2 years because of the playoff situation in which we've been in. But I've been in close contact with my counselors and people back at the administrative people back at the University of Florida, and they waiting. I'm waiting for the next opportunity for me to get back there and complete it all up.
Well, that shows determination, brother, and I have to commend you for that. And for a clinic like this, where they don't just stress athletics, but education as well, that would be something great to pass on to the kids.
I think so. I think it's very important that kids realize that education in this day and time is definitely going to be a more of an inspirational tool to them anyway than football skills or whatever. Your education is going to be with you for the rest of your life. Your football skills are going to diminish sooner or later. And someday, even if your football skills don't diminish, someday you're going to have to leave the game anyway. And, you know, whenever if it's near, soon, later, or whenever it may be, once you get your education, you can walk around for the rest of your life knowing that you're an intelligent black person or intelligent person, period.
Why do you think that the athletic profession, more than any other profession, grabs the attention of the youth?
I think everybody has an opportunity to participate in the sport. I think most of the kids that are here definitely love the game of football. It starts at a young age, and I think everybody wants to be a professional athlete some way or some shape or form, but it's not promised to anybody. You got to be lucky. You got to be fortunate. God has a plan for everybody. Everybody's plan is not the same, and whichever plan fits you, that's the plan you need to work on and try to master that.
Venus Lacey, a professional basketball player in Italy, enjoyed her first outing with the guys at the Russell Maryland Clinic.
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy that they invited me to the camp. Get a chance to see some of the guys and, you know, see what the foundation is all about. And I go back home and I try to get up some people to try to help them out with the fundraiser and stuff like that. So.
Not that they discriminate or anything like that, but you know you are the first to break the barrier for women participating in the sports or athletic way in this type of event. How does that feel?
Well, I feel good. I'm glad that they thought that much of me to invite me to the camp. We all should, I think, in different sports, I think instead of them seeing just the football players, I think they should mix up some of the camps and stuff like that. Just, you know, just to get the kids to meet different people because, you know, I'm a female. I play professional basketball and, you know, only, you know, the kids like this, you know, in Chicago area that's not familiar with women's basketball. They don't know that it's women out there playing professional basketball, so it's good that different camps, I done been to 3 camps now, that's dealing with football and baseball and all, so they missed up the athletes.
Now, you know, since there are not a lot of black females, you know, or a lot of people that don't know about this, then you set yourself up to be a role model. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm glad that kids do look up to me. I try not to make any mistakes, but we're not perfect. If I can ever help any kid, female, male, you know, black, white, you know, I would. I mean, I feel like it's my chance to give back to the kids where they did, you know, how they've been supporting me throughout my days of playing ball. I mean, they always, and it's like they never forget a face.
From the Russell Maryland Foundation Clinic and for Here We Are, this is T.R. Mugabe.